Hey everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today to test out a bit of a viral product. Now, I went to Sephora the other day, there was 20% off, and I managed to pick up a product that has not only been recommended highly by my viewers in the comment section, but I see it a lot on Instagram and TikTok. It is this from Fenty. So it is the Diamond Bomb All Over Diamond Veil in the shade How Many Carats. Now this is supposed to be a highlighter, obviously, but you can use it anywhere. I have seen people use it in their hair. So I'm doing it. I'm using it everywhere I can today, except on the body because I can't be bothered. But I am testing this viral product to see, is it worth the hype? Is it as beautiful as people make out? I just want to know. So I have purposefully put on a bunch of matte makeup today, and we're going to add shimmer everywhere we possibly can. Now, I believe this came out as almost like a limited edition product. I think it's still stuck around. There was another rosy shade, which I was looking for, but it's not available in Australia anymore. So this one is actually, it looks like a white highlighter. It's essentially sort of like a putty sort of texture. I need to catch the first moment that I touch this on camera. So if you just touch it, it has that sort of shine, but no base color. So you can see it's that sort of iridescent white shine to it, but it's very, very smooth, very dispersed, very thin, and there's no base color. So it's just a bit of a twinkle, which is very pretty. Let's just get right into it. So let's apply this as a highlighter on my face. Now I have seen a lot of really exaggerated videos. It does pick up quite nicely. I thought it was, look at that twinkle, it's beautiful. I've seen a lot of really exaggerated videos online where people have really turned down the brightness of their camera and got like a spotlight or something and made this look really, really intense. But it is quite, like, it does add this sort of wet look effect. I love this effect that it sort of just looks like you've got a little bit of sweat but in the right spot. Now, because this is so finely milled, from afar it actually just looks like glass skin. When you do go up much closer, focus, you can see that it is made up of little sparkly bits, but it's so small, the particles are so small that it really does just look like glass skin. I think that is stunning. I think that is stunning. It's very pretty. So as a highlighter, look, I approve. I like this. I like that it also doesn't add much color because it means that it can work on a bunch of different skin tones. You can choose your sort of cheek color and then it doesn't really impact it. So I think that's very pretty. Can't see it. Can you see it? Hopefully you can see it. So that is it as a highlighter. It's gorgeous. I approve. I get it. I get why this is sold out online. I get why I had to go and find it in store and there was one left. Next, I'm going to use it on my eyes. I've heard it's a beautiful twinkly eyeshadow. Now on my eyes, I just have my NARS. This is the Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I use this sort of like a base, but also as sort of just like a liquid brown matte eyeshadow because it works really nicely. So that's what I've got on. It's a shade medium dark. I've just picked this up on a brush and I'm going to see how this applies. Just dot it over. Okay, I feel like this is not as impactful as on the cheek. So maybe I'm going to go in with a bit of finger. And tap, 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 tap. Usually these sort of really white shades can look a little bit frosty and icy, but I think because of that really translucent base, it means that you can sort of, it doesn't look too frosty. You can sort of choose what you want underneath it. So it is pretty on the eye, but I don't think it's as sort of interesting as it is on the face. I think it's nicer on the face, but I get why people are using it on the eyes as well, and you definitely can. It just gives a little bit of life. I find all matte looks on me can look a little bit flat, so a little bit of twinkle just makes things look a little bit more awake, for me anyway, not everyone. It's pretty. Is it as pretty as, like, look, I'm going to test something. All right, if we turn the brightness all the way down and get my phone torch, it definitely looks a lot more impressive. So you can see the twinkle there. So if you really want to amp up this might be much cooler in like low light settings where you've got the artificial light, because you do get that sort of twinkly effect. It's quite pretty. The next thing I want to try that I've seen is actually applying it over your lip product. Now I have Velvet Teddy from MAC. It's what I'm trying to pan. It's a lovely nude. I really dig it. It is matte and I wouldn't mind adding a little bit of sparkle. So I don't want to tap it in too much because I don't want to mix it into the lipstick too much, but it's not that much of a difference. I've got an idea. I've got my MAC Powder Kiss Velvet Blur Slim Stick in a Ruby Nude. Now I'm going to try to create, I'll try to find it and put on the screen. I think there's a Dior or a Chanel or a fancy lipstick that has coming out for the holiday season that is red and glittery and looks amazing. And I have been periodically looking out for that because I want it. It's got this like beautiful micro sparkle in it, but it's red. I'm just going to see if I can recreate that. That lip is gorgeous. I love it. I love it. All right, so with my finger, and what I'm doing is I'm sort of putting it on my finger like this, tapping it on, wiping off my finger so I don't get the lipstick back in the pan. So I'm going to, while this is still sort of setting a little bit, yeah, it's better than the nude, slightly. Wiping off the finger, nice and clean. It's very thin to pick up. If you pick up like the thinnest layer. Oh, there you go. I do think this is harder to see on camera than you can in person, but let's get the light out again. You can do it. I don't think it's as successful. I don't think this is as nice as I was hoping. So these are the three main ways that I would look at using it. Obviously face, eyes and lips, but I'm going to try because I've seen people use it in their hair and I've just washed my hair. Let's get some sparkle in there. I call my grey hair my hair glitter. So why not just add a little bit more hair glitter to the mix? Let's see. Just don't want this to look like dandruff. I think maybe if you had really straight hair, this would look cool. I think in my wavy hair, this just sort of looks a bit messy, but you can definitely get an effect. That one wasn't the most successful on my hair anyway, but maybe if I put it in my brows for glitter brows. How do I feel about that? Looks a little bit like dandruff brows, but let's have a look. It's not necessary. It's a little bit of fun. And I have noticed if you're in low light and you've got like an artificial light source, the twinkly hair can be kind of cool. Let's catch it again. There, it looks like little like just, oh, pretty, pretty. And just a quick swatch comparison compared to some other things in my collection that are not similar but have that same kind of vibe. So, oh, that's it. Look from a distance, it just looks like wet. It's beautiful. So we've got the Fenty one. We've got the eyeshadow from the Kaleidos Venus Trap Quad, which is this one here. It's like a silver. Again, it doesn't really have a base color, but it's a lot more chunky, a lot more silver. You can see one looks sort of wet, one looks metal, I suppose. And then the last one I have is Charlotte Tilbury. There is the Exaggerize Bigger Brighter Eyes Filter eyeshadow palette, and here there is one that's got that sort of micro glitter. It's a little bit more brown, but it does have that sort of micro effect. One that I'm missing from this lineup that I have ordered is the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow in Space Cowboy. I will do a video on that when I get it, but it's this same kind of vibe as well. So Kaleidos, Fenty, and Charlotte Tilbury. We'll start with Fenty because that's what we're talking about. You can see it's a micro sort of white iridescent sparkle with no base color. Then if we go Kaleidos, you can see that this is a lot chunkier. The particles are a lot bigger, so it makes it look a lot more sparkly. Again, it's got not much base color, slightly gray tone, but it's much chunkier in the particles. That's the main difference. And then we have Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow here, which is probably the same sort of size particle as this one, but it's a little bit more brown. It's got a slight brown base to it. So that's the three there that similar kind of concept, slightly different. So what do I think about this viral product? Firstly, I think it's fun. I like the packaging. I like that it's sort of this sparkly, metallic diamond effect, which gives a nice sort of indication of what you're getting inside. In Australia, this is I think $62, $64, something like that. I got it 20% off. So it isn't cheap, but you get 8 grams of product in here, which is quite a lot. And the fact that you can have it as a multi-use product is generally good value if you're going to use it. So I think it's beautiful. I do get the hype. I do understand why it's hyped, but I do think from just playing with it now, the best effect I have from it is on the face. Like you can see this, like there's a noticeable difference from when I didn't have it on to when I do have it on. And I think it adds this sort of beautiful sort of natural wet look that it's like you're sweating or you're dewy in the right spots. And for someone that has oily skin that often has to use quite a matte base to set my base, it's really nice to be able to inject those sort of dewy points without it being sticky and wet. So I think this is beautiful for that sort of glass skin dewy effect without the dewiness. In terms of eyeshadow, like I get it. I think it's pretty, but I don't think it's very noticeable. Same as the lips. Yes, it does look a little bit more shiny, and this is a matte lipstick. So it can change the effect of it, but I don't think it's so noticeable and stunning that it's really worth the hassle in my opinion. And in the hair, like it's barely noticeable, but I think where this will shine is if you are out in the evening, you're in a dark area and there's like certain artificial lights and it's just twinkling in the light, or like the street lights or something. I think this could look really, really beautiful and give you that really sort of romantic, twinkly, sort of beautiful effect in your hair, on your eyes, on your lips, on your face. But for me, on an everyday basis, this is probably going to be a face highlighter. Let's be real, because that is gorgeous. The rest of it is okay. And the eyebrows, like, you do you. So if you've been curious about this product, look, I like it. I'm glad I bought it. I will definitely keep using it. So I think there is some merit to the hype. But I think this is a really safe sort of glitter option. So if you want to delve, if you want to try glitter, but you're too scared of something that looks really intense, I think this is where it's like a safe spot. You can use it. It doesn't look overwhelming. You don't look like a sparkle bomb, but it can add a really delicate, pretty effect to wherever you put it. So I like it. I think it's nice. I'm glad I've got it. And let me know if you've got any other sort of hyped recommendations that you've seen online, whether it's like gone viral on TikTok or whatever it happens to be, and you want to see me do a first impression and demo of it. Let me know, because I think these are fun and I want to do more of them next year. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my members for supporting this channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.